What's up, YouTube? Bloodspawn is here, and I am back from Monster-Mania 31 convention. It was this past weekend, July 31st through August 2nd in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I was a part of it all 3 days. I've had the VIP pass for it. The VIP wasn't for a specific person. It was the same as last convention where you choose one person and basically skip the line. No autograph, no photo with included, just to skip the line, plus the regular features where you get to get front row seatings for all the Q&As and movie screenings and pretty much everything else. You also get a 11 by 17, I think it is. Cool, real nice artwork on this, and it's like kind of hard. It's not real floppy. Poster, as well as a free t-shirt. Artwork on it was real nice. On the back it's got the date, the place, what's your favorite scary movie, and then all the guests that were there. So that was awesome. Here's what the pamphlet looks like. Same artwork on the back. It's got the next con coming up, which Roddy Piper was supposed to be at, but rest in peace for him. It's also got next year's thing. It's got a list of all the guests and all the events for that day, where they're going to be, what time, and everything. So always grab one of those to go in my convention binder with my photos from each celebrity. So we'll save the recap for last. We'll just jump right into this. The first thing I want to do is give con shout outs to my con family. It keeps on growing, it seems like every convention. But what's up to Nicole, Brian, April, John, Russ, Claire, Dave White, Dave Zerfy, Terry, I know you're watching. Hi, Terry and family. Sherry, Thomas Golden, Martha Sandusky, Chad, Nico, Gary Sims, which wasn't there, but what's up, RJ? Keith, my buddy Keith, I didn't see him this time around, so I didn't know if he made it. New buddy Matt, what's up, guy? Mike McManus with the crazy ass costumes, man, yet again. Pulled off a couple new awesome ones, as well as his Pennywise, which is one of the best I've ever seen. Rhonda, anybody else I didn't miss? I know I'm probably missing some people. All the staff, the Hagans, what's up, guys? Awesome convention. Really overall happy. There was a fallback when the convention was over. The only negative I have took place after the convention, and we'll get into that probably towards the end. So my VIP pass I used obviously for Nev Campbell to skip her line. We got in the room. It was even before the con, I think, even opened. I think we were already up there, probably 4:45 or so. We were already in the room, and maybe 20-25 people in front of me that also used their line skip ability for her. And shortly after she walked in, nice entrance. Everyone was clapping and cheering for her. Really nice. Still holding up pretty well. She looks damn pretty good to me. But she was real nice. It was funny because their agent, they had her kind of off. The tables were like an L shape, and all her photographs were lined up. And then the agent takes your money, and then the table breaks off this way, and she's sitting over here. Well, the agent has got a little post-it note, and they ask you for your name. So she writes your name and how to spell it and puts it on your poster. So Nev already knows what your name is and how to spell it. But I always have my index cards already made out, how I want it signed with my name and everything like that. So I asked the agent, and there was already a person over to my side dealing with Nev or getting her autograph and meeting her. And I said, do you know if she's, I said, well, I already have these cards made out, but is she signing quotes? And she was like, oh, I don't know, you'll probably have to ask her. And then Nev like speaks up. I'm like, yeah, I'll sign anything you want as long as you know what you want. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, I didn't expect that, because some of them hire people, won't sign quotes and stuff. So that was really awesome. Then it was my turn to meet her. I got her to sign 2 items. I was debating on just getting one, but I said, no, let me go ahead and take my opportunity to get both now. She was really nice, smiley, didn't really talk too much, but was smiling and stuff like that. It was a good meet for me. So in this video, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to talk about the person, and then I'm going to show all the photos. No more going back and forth like I normally do. So once I'm done my little story like I am now with Nev Campbell, I'm just going to there's going to be several photos, and the photos will be uh, a picture of me and the celebrity. If my son took a picture with them signing my item, then the autograph on the item, and then if there's a second item that I got signed, that poster, and then that autograph. So that's the only time I'm going to break it down, but that's how each person's going to go. So here are my pictures of or with Nev Campbell. Okay, next up, I went down into the first, which was closest room, because they had Nev upstairs in our own room, and there was a little autograph room with maybe 6 or 7 people in it. So I went in there because it was just close to and easy to get to. The lines were surprisingly small. I mean, Friday's always a great day for autographs, but this time it just seemed like they were extra small. Saturday, yeah, it did pick up and stuff, and I mean, I'm sure the convention did really, really well overall. It just seemed for some reason like Friday, there was like almost no lines. I think the longest line I had was maybe like 15 or 20 people in front of me. So next up, I walked into the room and Rachel True was there. She was in the craft with Nev Campbell, but I didn't need her on that poster because I sent that to Texas, and my buddy Jeremy got her for me. But I wanted to meet her and get my picture with her, so I ordered a half-baked poster. So she had no line at all, like literally no people. So I got the poster out, like as I'm standing 10 feet away, and just walked right up. She was amazing. I'm pretty sure she was my favorite meet of the whole convention. She really, really nice, talkative, smiley. That's thunder as there's a storm here. She was really happy when I pulled out and put the poster in front of her that it was half baked. She didn't expect that. I told her I told her about the story about the craft poster and how I sent it to Texas and got her on it. I even actually opened up my portfolio and showed her. Um, but I said, I don't have a quote or anything picked out for you. And she was nice enough to like think for a second of something to write on it. She was really nice to my son. She took separate photos with all of us, me and my son, and then my girlfriend was taking the pictures, and then she was like, here, you want one too? Get in here. And then so my girlfriend got a picture with her. So just really a great meet. I mean, like I said, probably my favorite of the con, and Rachel True's probably not a household name like a Nev Campbell or something like that would be, but really, really awesome. So here's my pictures with Rachel. All right, next up was Skeet Ulrich. He played the boyfriend in actually both movies, The Craft and in Scream. He was pretty quiet. There really wasn't much there as a meet. I got him to sign too as well. He did like my quote that I picked out for The Craft, but pretty much that's just about all. Skeet, there's a couple pictures of him, so here they are. All right, Malcolm McDowell is the next one I'll talk about. I've met him before in the picture that my son took with him. It came out really blurry, so wanted to get him again. So this time I wanted to get him on Clockwork Orange. Um, I picked out a really special poster, what I thought would be, and Malcolm really liked it. He asked me about the poster and where I got it, and I explained the website that I ordered him from. He was a really nice guy. He was talkative to my son, even like during the picture taking process. He was still talking to my son and everything. So really good meet. Malcolm McDowell's pretty class act all the way around. So here's my pictures with him. All right, next up is Brad Dourif. He is the voice of Chucky in Child's Play. I've been wanting to meet him for a while. My son's really freaked out by Chucky. I tortured him when he was little. I had like I don't know how tall it was, maybe 2 feet or something like that, Chucky doll. and I butchered its hair, made it look all crazy, and I would tuck it in bed with him next to him, and I duct taped a knife to his hand and set him like up the stairway. So when he came around and went to go up the stairs, he like saw this Chucky doll standing there with a knife, like looking down at him. So my son's the one thing he's probably scared of out of horror is Chucky. So meeting the guy that does his voice, and he's like, Dad, listen to him talk. Like it's not like a Seth MacFarlane who can do other voices. Like Chucky's voice, like is Brad Dourif. Like it's not he's not making that voice up. So he was kind of blown away by that. He was a really nice guy. Talked to my son, talked to me. Didn't talk too much. But my son got a good meet with him, I believe, and I was happy for that. So he did mess up my quote a little bit. My favorite quote from I got him on 2 items. One which just got Chucky. That way I can get anyone from any of the Child's Plays, and then I had Curse of the Chucky. Storm again, as I had already got signed before. Well, my favorite line from Curse of the Chucky is he's like, "Women can't live with them." Period. Well, I had that for the Curse of Chucky poster, and then I had like "You're my friend to the end," Heidi Ho or something like that for the regular Chucky. Well, he signed Curse of the Chucky first, and he wrote "You're my friend to the end," and then on the regular Chucky, he just wrote like "To David" and his name and Chucky or something like that. So my favorite line from the movie, and I didn't get it. So that was the only downfall with Brad Dourif. But here's the Brad Dourif photos. All right, next up, Danielle Harris. I've said it before in a video. If Danielle Harris is at a convention that I'm going to meet her, and I'm probably going to get more than one item signed. So this one, third time, is my son's first time meeting her. I'm holding true to what I said. I got her. I met her. My son met her, and I got her to sign 2 items. I could have got a third, but I'll hold out for the next time that she comes. I'll always find something. She's an amazing woman, beautiful, true to her fans, loves her fans, and it shows time and time again. Like it shows the fact that, like, okay, in the last 3 years, she used to be like $20, and she went to 25. Now she's 30, but she never charges for a photo, and her price has only gone up $10 in like 4 years, and she's done probably 10, 15 films in that time frame. So it's not like a Walking Dead person who's never done anything else ever, and now they're on the new season charging $80, which we can get into that story in a little bit. But Danielle Harris has always stayed true to her fans and not trying to get nickel and dime them. Just here's my price, and it's not going anywhere. So my son, it's his new favorite, as his Facebook profile picture already shows, and mine does as well. But so here's the pictures of the lovely and amazing Danielle Harris. One more Danielle Harris thing. When I got her to sign my last Boy Scout poster, I said this was kind of special to me because Taylor Negron had signed it in person previous a year or two ago, and he's now passed away. And she did a little all thing for that, so that was pretty cool. Up next is the first of the Walking Dead people, Adrian Ali Turner, I believe is his name. He played Morgan's son in season 1. He was pretty cool, not too talkative. Got a nice laugh out of the quote that I had him sign, which shows in the pictures. You can actually see him smiling and me smiling because we were bagging up from it. He was nice to my son. He was cool. He wasn't charging. I think he was like 35 combo, which means he was charging 25 for an auto and 10 for a picture with him, which is probably the cheapest Walking Dead person I've gotten in a few years. So here's the pictures of Adrian. Okay, next up is Seth. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Gilliam. He plays Father Gabriel on The Walking Dead. He was nice, smiling, nice to my son. He shook my hand, shook my son's hand. Not really a lot of talking going on. Again, he liked the poster because there was a lot of signatures on it, and also liked the quote that I had picked out for him. He was, I believe, 40 combo, 30 autograph, 10 for picture, which I was more than happy for because I thought I had heard he was a little bit higher, maybe $60, $70. So I was more than happy to get him for the $40. So here's the pictures with Seth. Okay, and the other Walking Dead guy, I kind of knew in advance. I had heard some he was charging 40 for an auto and 40 for a picture, and he's not that big of a character yet, and he's kind of new, which is Ross Marquand or something like that, however you pronounce it. He plays the gay guy. I don't remember the name, Alex or something like that, but he's with Daryl right now as the scavenger guys. So I did not get him. I passed on him because just too much money for a small character. So. But the next up that I did meet was Dennis O'Hare. This was up there with Nev Campbell for me. Um, Long time or all the time True Blood fan. And he played the King Vampire, which I'm blanking on the name right now. But he played that, and he's in, I think, every season but one of American Horror Story. In season one, he played the guy that was like half burn up. In season three, he was the weird butler guy with the baby dolls up in the attic. And I haven't seen Freak Show, but I know he's in it. He was really, really nice. That's probably my second favorite, right up there with Rachel. Really nice to me, really nice to my son. And he gave us a little story because I told him, I said, I'm trying to get caught up in American Horror Story. And he's like, oh, where are you at? Like, he seemed really interested. Like, and I was like, well, I said, I watched them all except Freak Show because I missed it on TV. It's not on Netflix yet, and it's not out on DVD yet. I said, but man, like, your character in season 3 was so awesome. And he's like, yeah. And like, he pulls out this little baby doll's head, but it was only like this big. It wasn't like a big baby doll. It was like a Barbie size head. And then he had a keychain, and it was attached to a keychain. And then he had another keychain with like a baby doll's arm or something like that. And he was explaining that he had the special effects guys personally make these, and it's not anything you'd see in the TV show because they were in his pocket. And like, when he was off camera, he would like pull them out and play with them, and he like kind of, I guess, use that to kind of stay in that weird character. So it was pretty cool to actually see. And he every time he's on screen, he's got that little baby doll's head on a keychain in his pocket. So a little behind the scenes story. That's why I love conventions and the Q&As and stuff. So here's all the pictures with Dennis. Okay, next up, Mitch Pileggi. He played Darby on Sons of Anarchy. He was also in X-Files. I didn't really talk to him too much. He seemed like a really nice guy, though. He took separate pictures with all three of us. I did bring up the X-Files coming back. He was excited for that. He did tell me that they were filming actually right now for that. So, pretty cool little story. But I got him on my Sons of Anarchy poster. So here's the pictures of Mitch Pileggi. Okay, next up, George Wendt. He played Norm in Cheers. He was also in the horror movie House with William Catt that I'd probably watched 10, 15 times when I was a kid. Now I probably wouldn't sit through it, but the movie was amazing when I was a kid. But I got him on Cheers. I had to. And my poster was kind of special because I purposely picked out one that has the main, like the most cast members. There was a thing where like they switched, where like it wasn't. I'm blanking on names today. It wasn't the Kathy or whatever her name was, and it was somebody else. And then Frazier and his girlfriend come on, and there's this other guy or blah blah blah. So it's got like a whole bunch. It's got all the main core, but then it has the weird people that kind of like were on it for 3 or 4 seasons and then weren't. And then the main owner of the bar, how that switched out. They're both on it as well. So he liked the poster, and one of the guys had recently passed. So he actually talked about that for a minute. I asked him, does he like keep in contact with anybody from the show, and he's like, yeah, most of them he does. And then he's like, well, obviously except for this one, and he was joking about the guy dying, kind of. So it was pretty cool to meet Norm from Cheers. I grew up on Cheers, so here's all the pictures with George. Next up is another George P. Wilbur. I've passed on him numerous times, and I needed him on an item, and I figured this would be the time to get him. He played Michael Myers in, I believe it's part 4 and 6, not 5. And I have a Michael Myers little custom poster that a buddy of mine made way back, like at my first convention. He only made 25 of the poster, but it ended up being real small. Like I don't even know what the size is. It's maybe like a 10 by 12 or something like that, 10 by 14 or something. So I didn't know what to do with it because it's way too small to like try to get Halloween people on, because you can amass 10, 15, 20, 30 people pretty easily. So I decided I'd just get people that played Michael Myers on it. Well, way back when I got Don Shanks on it, and I just kept passing on George P. Wilbur. He's probably been at 2 conventions already, and I've passed. So this time I got him. He was really nice, really cool guy, really nice to my son. And he was just like, man, whatever. Like, I was like, is it okay if I take a picture with you and, my son separate? Oh, man, whatever you want. I'll sign whatever you want to do. Like, he was really awesome. So here's my pictures with George. All right, next up, Alex Vincent. He played little Andy in the original Child's Play Chucky movie. He was a really nice guy, really humble. Like, if you didn't know the Child's Play movie and you just ran into him, you would not know he's a celebrity. He's just a real nice, down to earth guy. My son had a good time meeting him and everything. And that's pretty much it for Alex. So here's the pictures of him. All right, next up is Bam Margera. He, for some reason, was only there Saturday between the hours of 1 and 4. So standing in line, his line was probably the longest of the whole thing. By the time I got down there and decided I'd get it, he already had maybe 30, 40 people in line. So I was about 40 something people back. And we're just standing there waiting for him to show up. And he come in with a whole entourage, but he was pretty much by himself as far as like people that were on Jackass. No one else came. There was rumors of his mom and dad come in. Then there was rumors that they wouldn't be there until about 3. So I just went ahead and knocked out Bam Margera. So when it was my turn to get him, he shook his hand and said hi to him. Said, what's up, brother? And he said, what's up? And said, thanks for coming. And he started to sign my stuff. And then, over comes Skeet Ulrich with his son to introduce him to Bam. And at that point, my experience meeting him and autograph wise was over, but it was time to take the pictures with him. Well, like I got interrupted. It's a celebrity, so I just backed off and waited, for them to get done. And then that took a little bit of time. And then next thing you know, like, and it's in one of my pictures, you can see him like looking over, and he's still got my autograph in his hand, and he's looking at Kane Hodder, the guy that played Jason in like 6 or 7 other movies. Really awesome guy as well. And Kane had come over to meet him, which was a real quick meet. But then Kane decided that he wanted a picture with Bam, and Kane is known for choking the shit out of you when you take a picture. Like, he don't just put his hand there; he like literally squeezes. And I took pictures of him squeezing, and he did it for like a solid 20, 30 seconds. And you can see in the pictures like Bam's like starting to go like that for air, which is a really cool experience. And then I got my separate pictures, and he also was nice enough to take separate pictures with one with me, one with my son, one with my girlfriend. Didn't charge any extra for that, so that was awesome. So here's the pictures of Bam. right, the next one. So as I'm walking around, I believe I was in a costume at this point. Then Bam was now gone, and I had heard rumors he didn't stay until 4. He was only there for maybe an hour or two, and then left. But his mom and dad did show up and set up at the table he was at. I did not get them, but I did take a picture of them. And Phil, the dad, is actually looking at me with a big smile on his face because he's seeing the costume, which I won't talk about because there's pictures of that later. So here's a picture of Phil and April there. And that pretty much wraps up all the autographs. Later on that night was the VIP party, which was pretty awesome. There were some downfalls and some good sides. They did a Godzilla cake cutting, which I do have a picture of the Godzilla cake. I didn't get any pictures because it kind of got crowded for that cake cutting, which was awesome. It was cool to see. I did see the actual guy who played in Godzilla in the original Godzilla, like bending over. He had to get like really close to the cake to see it. And at one point, like he puts his head and arm down on the table. And I've seen guys that took really cool pictures of him posing like that. So it was really amazing to see. I regret not meeting the Godzilla people that were there now, just because it was so cool, to have them there. But then they did a Scream cake cutting. The Scream cake was really awesome. They brought in Nev, Skeet, and Roger Jackson, who does the voice for Ghostface, the killer in Scream. The cake cutting part was really cool. I got some really awesome posters of them stabbing it in the eye and stuff like that. But then they dipped. They pretty much cut the cake and rolled. Like they didn't stay at all. Like not even like hung around for 5 minutes. They cut the cake and left, which kind of sucks because us VIP people, paid $100 and some to get VIP tickets. And a big part of that is the VIP party because it's more. There's maybe only 100 people, 150 people in this big ass room. The celebrities come in. You get to meet them, talk to them, take pictures with them. You're not allowed to get autographs in there, but it's a good way to get some free pictures with them in there in the VIP party. And they just ran out. So did the Godzilla people. But there was some people that came in. I did manage to get pictures with 3 people in the VIP party, one of which is the Walking Dead guy I did not get, Russ Marquand, or whatever you pronounce it. So I did get a picture with him, and I did actually ask him, I was like looking forward to seeing where your character is going and what happens to your character this year. I said I saw the trailer for it, man, it looks amazing. He's like, dude, it's so awesome. It's going to be so awesome. So he kind of got me a little pumped up for Walking Dead. So I got a picture with him. I got a picture with Sean Yezolt, Useult. It's a female. I believe she played bass guitar for White Zombie. But I took a picture with her, and also X-Pac, the wrestler, was in the building. So I got a picture with him. And then there was a lot of drinking and a lot of dancing, and that was pretty much it for that night. So here's the pictures, all of the pictures I just talked about from the VIP party. Saturday, most of it, I didn't get around to any Q&As. I had the photo op for Nev and Skeet photo together. So I had to kind of plan around that. A couple of these autographs, I think it was Malcolm McDowell and Brad Dourif and Bam Margera, I got Saturday. So by the time that was done, I literally had to pretty much run from Bam Margera's meeting to my photo op with Skeet and them and Nev. And then I started putting on my costume and like walking around taking pictures with people that wanted pictures. And then I went up and I changed out of the one costume into my Pinhead costume. And then it was dinner time. We all get together, all my con family, and we ordered Chinese on Saturday night. And then ran to the costume contest and stuff. So not a lot going on, but the costume contest was the big thing. I entered with my new costume, not the Pinhead one, which is Uno the Cyclops. And my son, I picked up a Chatterer costume for him, which is Pinhead's little sidekick Cenobite, and it's his favorite character from Hellraiser. Mine's Pinhead, obviously, but he's probably my favorite Cenobite even though Pinhead's a Cenobite, but sidekick, that's what I call him. So it was pretty cool for him to have that, and for me and him to walk. I walked around as Pinhead, he walked around as Chatterer right with me. So it was kind of cool to do that. But he entered that as well. They wouldn't let her enter as a kid. I don't know why, but he literally tried, but they told him no. So then he had to go in with adults who spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the costume. So neither one of us won, but it was fun. So here's all the pictures from the costume contest. And the female predator actually was the one that won the sexiest category, which I agree with. And then we pretty much got a lot of pictures with other con goers. I don't want to call them fans, but people that wanted to take pictures with me in my Cyclops costume, or my son with his Chatterer, or both of us, me as Pinhead and my son as Chatterer. And there's just not too many, but 5 or 6 pictures of that kind of stuff. So here those are. And that's it. And Sunday, I went to the Yorkie auction, which was awesome as normal. I didn't win anything, but cool little part in that, which was there was one thing I wanted, which was my buddy Pinhead. It was like a frosted glass with the Pinhead face on it, the same one as that one right over there. Um, and like I was in my little circle of friends. We were all sitting kind of close to each other, and 3 of us had our hands up bidding on this lot that they built. I don't know why they added the Pinhead in this lot, because the lot was already good as is. But then they threw the glass in, and I was like, shit, now I got to bid on it. So I ran, it was 2 of the people in my little circle and me ended up being the last 3 people with their hand raised, meaning we're still willing to pay that. And you go 60, 65, and then 65 is too much for me. I put my hand down. If they're still up, then they're still going. And I put my hand down at 60, and they were still going, and ended up being one of my friends that won it. And then she just handed me the glass. I'm like, here you go, you can have it. So I did manage to get one thing out of the Yorkie auction. Usually I buy several lots. But this time I didn't, but I still got something out of it, so that was awesome. And I did end up picking up an autograph in the vendor room. Maria Brink, she's the lead singer of In This Moment, which is probably my favorite band, and she's amazing. So I did pick up an 8x10 of that, so here that is. And that's it, guys. That's all I got. Not too many stories, but hopefully you still enjoyed the video. I'm going to keep doing these videos every convention I do. Every time I do, I end up going to the convention, and next thing you know, somebody's coming up to me and telling me they watch these videos. So it keeps the fire going to make them. So hopefully, if you're not getting to conventions, I don't know what's wrong with you. Well, what are you doing? Go now. Get up and leave and go to a convention, man. They're a blast. You're going to meet not only great celebrities and have fun doing that, but I guarantee you're going to meet fantastic people. There's nothing like people that go to these horror conventions. I have a huge family of people that 3 or 4 years ago I didn't even know. And when I went alone, and I didn't know anyone. And next thing you know, I have what I have now, which is amazing, because horror fans are the best fans and the nicest fans. We should be the craziest and the meanest, but we're the nicest. So if you can get to a convention, if you can't, watch videos like this. All right, guys, until October, because I'm going to that one. 2 more months till the next con.